Hello friends, it is Nomad Brad coming to you from my box truck, hanging out in a parking lot. Get my microphone situated here. What is going on here? Oh wait, this is backwards, hold on. Hold on my friends. Hold on my friends, we got it backwards. Here we go. This is what... Okay, I think that's it. I had the microphone backwards. Hello friends, it is Nomad Brad coming to you from my box truck in a parking lot in San Diego, California. How's everybody doing today? Hello King Gamer. Happy to see you guys. Let's see if the screen will rotate. I will show you guys my current location. Here we are, hanging out. Hello Diana, happy to see you. Hanging out in the park. Rhymes with Orange, what's up, my man? This is, I met Rhymes with Orange. He is a tour bus driver. He was cruising by the parking lot in, by Deanza Cove, and I ran into him, and he stopped to say hello. I always love meeting the subscribers. Very nice guy. Of course, Rhymes with Orange, how could I forget the name? Outdoors Dreadhead, what's up? Here's a shot out the other window. So we're gonna go after it. We're gonna go out onto the streets of San Diego and see what is happening. All right. So it was a beautiful sunny day today for about 4 hours. Super Dave's got it, and then it went overcast. So San Diego in May and June, they call it June gloom, and so the marine layer is very thick, and so there's a lot of clouds. And so it is cloudy today, but it was nice a few hours ago. I went for a walk on the beach, took my shirt off, got a little sun, and it turned out really nice. Hello, Michael from Pensacola. John C. and Super Dave in the chat. What's going on? Happy to see you guys. And so I'll talk to you guys a little bit about my location. So we're here at the parking lot. Let's see, Josh LLC. Did you and the U-Haul guy get something going to fix that leak? Yes, we did. Let me do some updates first before we actually dive in to the meat of the subject. I'm gonna go sit on this picnic bench over here. So, Josh LLC turned out to be a really, really helpful guy, super appreciative of having him around. So as you guys know, thank you, John, for the haircut compliment. I will tell you guys about that in a moment. As you guys know, I've had a lot of issues with this leak on my van, and every mechanic I talked to had no solutions for me. Josh LLC is a mechanic, and he wanted to help me out. And Josh LLC was actually able to locate a U-Haul mechanic. And so he put me in touch with this guy named AD, who is in Los Angeles, just 2 hours north of me. About 2 hours north of me in Los Angeles. This guy's a U-Haul mechanic, and he agreed to help me. And he said he's got a bunch of experience working on the rigs, and he said if I wanted to come in to the U-Haul shop, I would have to pay U-Haul rates, but if I wanted to do the work at his house, he'd be happy to cut me a deal. And I said, let's go. Let's do the work at your house. I'm all about it. So next Friday, I'm driving up to LA, a couple hours, and this guy's gonna check out my rig on Saturday. And you know, what's awesome is he just is super down. He's like, this is a weird situation. I've never heard of this, but we're gonna tear into it and figure out what's going on. He is totally open to just basically tearing everything apart, opening up the transmission mounted parking brake, and figuring out what's going on. And additionally, he said he does have the skills and the resources to rebuild that unit if that's what we need, which we probably will need to rebuild it because it is leaking. But like I said before, there's some secondary issue going on. So I'm pretty confident this guy can fix it. If he can't fix it, we're just gonna throw the van in the trash and get a new one, because at that point, I don't know what else to do. But I do feel pretty good about this guy, and I think we can get it going. So what that means is I'm gonna have a new video coming out that's gonna be me limping this van up to Los Angeles and then hanging out at this guy's house and doing a little mechanic work. I'm gonna hopefully film the whole thing. We're gonna tear it all apart and figure out once and for all what's going on. Hello, Marview, happy to see you, happy to have you in the chat. Yeah, so that's exciting times. I'm hoping, yes, Josh LLC, you know, I put out the word that if someone can help me figure out the problem, I will reward them financially. Rhymes with orange, yes, my box truck. My box truck has a leaky transmission mounted parking brake. It's been leaking for a long time. I've had a lot of issues with it. I've replaced it multiple times, cannot figure out the problem. And so hopefully this guy can fix it. And if he does, Josh LLC has some cash coming to him. Or additionally, if he wants, I'd be happy to do his electrical install for him. I know he just got a van, and so he's gonna be looking to have that done. So if he wants, I'm also happy to just do that for him as well. So whatever Josh LLC wants, we're gonna hook him up. Hello, Joanne, happy to see you in the chat. I will see you this weekend. I am doing a solar install for Joanne Saturday on her RV. She's getting 400 watts of solar and 300 watt power inverter, 400 amp hours of lithium, automatic transfer switch, all kinds of goodies so that she can get some solar power for her Class C RV. So that'll be a fun job on Saturday. And then next week I have jobs basically all week up until Friday when I head north up to Los Angeles. So it's a very busy time for old Nomad Brad, and hoping to get the van dialed in so I can continue to travel. I have a lot of jobs up the coast throughout California, so I want to keep it moving. Keep it moving. So that's where we're at. Feeling good, feeling happy down here in San Diego. Grateful for the community. So happy for Josh LLC to, or grateful I should say, for him to help out and connect me with AD. And that's what I needed. You know, I just needed somebody that could do a little work and figure the situation out for me, because I had exhausted all my resources. I couldn't find a mechanic. But I think because Josh LLC is a mechanic, he must have had some like inside mechanic connections, but he made it happen, and that's all that matters. He made it happen. So I appreciate that, and Josh LLC will be taken care of. I promise all my people, I will keep my word, and we will make it happen. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about what I got going on here. So here's a question about, do I help my clients choose solar, or do they already have solar? It can go either way. If you guys already have solar systems, I'm happy to install what you have. Sometimes that happens. If you guys do not have solar systems, I'm happy to help you determine what you need and then additionally install that for you. So whatever you need. So this parking lot right here, this is Mission Beach, California. It's still technically San Diego. And this parking lot is very open to nomads. So I stayed parked up right here in my van for a couple nights. There's a couple other rigs down there. There's another box truck. There's a couple Class C camper vans parked down here. I'm sorry, Class C RVs, and a couple other buses. So it's a pretty friendly spot. I stayed here for a few nights. And what I love about this location is old Nomad Brad needed a haircut. As you guys might have noticed in the last video, my hair was looking pretty crazy. I wanted to go down to Mexico with King Gamer and do a little Mexican haircut trip, but it just didn't work out. Timing didn't work out right. And so I was staying in this parking lot and looking for a haircut, and there's a barber shop right at the end of the parking lot. So literally a couple days ago, I got out of my van, I walked over right down to the end of the parking lot, got a haircut, and then I realized I need a shower. And I'm about 10, 15 miles from Planet Fitness. It's not really close, and with gas being 5 miles a gallon, it just didn't make sense to drive all the way out there. So I pulled up Google Maps and I found out right over here on the other side of the parking lot, there's this big like amusement park area, and they have a swimming pool section. And so you can actually buy a day pass to their swimming pool. It's only 15 bucks, and they have a shower and they also have a sauna. So after I got my haircut, I walked over to the swimming pool right here, paid 15 bucks, sat in the steam room, got a nice sauna, got my sweat on, and then took a shower, came back feeling fresh. And then additionally, after my haircut, I walked just down the street a little bit this way, and I was able to get actually a pretty delicious Mexican lunch at Sarah's Taco Shop, and it was only 10 bucks, which I thought was a pretty crazy price, especially for being in San Diego. 10 bucks for 3 tacos and rice and beans, I thought was a pretty good deal. So I thought that's a really cool example of how you can, especially like with stealth camping, you can be right in the middle of the city, in the middle of the action, and you can still have everything you need. A haircut, walk to get a shower and a sauna, walk to get food, and you're still living rent-free, and you're not out, you know, way out away from civilization. And because the parking lots here in California are pretty chill about, you know, just stealth camping, you can actually stay in these parking lots for multiple days without any trouble. So it is very, very friendly for nomad life out here in San Diego, and I'm loving it. We're gonna walk over here and just kind of take a peek at what's going on. Super Dave, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. I noticed you bumped up the tips. I think you're compensating for that San Diego gas pricing, and I appreciate you. Gas is getting crazy down here, and so I appreciate the help. And I need, actually now I need a bunch of money so I can pay Josh LLC for putting me in touch with that mechanic. So I really appreciate it. It's all just a big circle. We're all helping everybody out. Nomads helping nomads, and so I'm happy to contribute. And on the topic of nomads helping nomads, I just got a new product in the mail that I want to give away if somebody wants it. Bougie RV sent me their brand new fridge freezer, and it's really nice. It's a big unit. It's a chest style fridge freezer. It's the 50, is it 50 quarts or 50 liters? I think it's 50 quarts fridge freezer, but it's really nice and it's really fancy. It's like all stainless steel, and it just looks like a really sweet unit. So I'm gonna be making a review video for them over the next couple weeks. It's a $600 fridge, so it's pretty nice. If anybody is interested in that unit and could use it in their build, let me know, and I would be happy to pass it along. Now the stipulation is, I wanna make sure somebody that receives it actually wants it and can use it. So I don't want someone that's just like, oh, free stuff, I'll take it. I want someone that can actually use it in their build or in their house, wherever you need to use it. So I'm going to ask that you pay for shipping. So that's it. It's a $600 fridge. I ask for you to pay for shipping. It might be like 40 bucks or something, and we'll ship it. We'll try to get a discount on shipping. But if that's something you're interested in, then send me an email. Send me an email, nomadbrad503@gmail.com. Let me know if you want a 12-volt compressor refrigerator from Bougie RV. It looks like a nice one. And I'll mention this again over the next few weeks as I do the review. So you guys have plenty of time to get back to me. I give you guys a little live view. So the thing I like about this parking spot, again, I'm just parked right over here, and we come out here and look at this. We're on the beach. It's a little overcast, but we're on the beach. And then what's cool is they have like this big boardwalk. So this is a lot different from the other places I've been in San Diego, in the sense that there's a lot more action. There's just like energy, and there's vibes going on, and there's people riding bikes on the boardwalk and skating, and there's restaurants and all kinds of shops and little things you can do. So it's pretty cool how it has kind of this like just beach town city vibe, and it's just a really good energy. So I'm pretty happy that I'm able to stay, you know, just literally across the street from this poppin' place, not paying rent, not paying utilities, and I have access to all kinds of shops and showers and all kinds of fun stuff. Yeah, Kaya, PB vibes. And so I'm actually gonna go and dive into this. It's really interesting. It's like an amusement park that's right on the beach. So we're gonna go and just kind of walk through here and check it out. And I'm pretty amazed actually at how cool this is. It's like you're walking and all of a sudden you just end up inside an amusement park. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Are you guys like, you roller coaster enthusiasts? You guys like the scary stuff? Let me know. So Diana asked a question about security systems. I don't have one on my van, like a video camera system. A lot of people do, but I just don't really, I don't know. I'm not really worried about it. I think, you know, at some point it might be handy, but it's just pretty low on my priority list. I have probably a lot of other things I would do before I would get to a security system. But maybe one day, maybe on the next build. Kaya, yeah. I'm not opposed to roller coasters. I just don't enjoy them. Oh, Charlie Pepin with the $5 super chat for the Josh LLC fund. I appreciate it. This is just community helping each other out. We got to get everybody paid, get everybody help, keep the love going. Yeah, so check this out. There's like this roller coaster going on here, all kinds of kid stuff. They got like rope climbing thing, little cars. They got little toy shops. They got bumper cars. Me and King came over here a couple days ago. We had a burger up here at Belmonte's Burgers. It was pretty good. And yeah, it's just like a fair vibe. They got a rock wall. And then check it out. This is the shower right here. The shower, pool, sauna combo. Oh, and then also they have really nice clean bathrooms here that technically you can kind of just hop in and use them. Way better than any kind of public park bathrooms I've come across. So this right here, this is the swim area. This is where I came the other day. Sauna's right down in the corner. Men's showers, 15 bucks for a day pass. And then if you're in the area for a while, you can get a monthly pass. It's a lot cheaper, but pretty nice to come take a sauna. And then bathrooms right here, super clean bathrooms. Yeah, this is a really nice spot, kind of a little hidden gem right on the beach in San Diego. So how cool is it to stay here? You got a little arcade. Kenny on board? Yes, that's right, the shore power install. So last Saturday, I met up with Kenny, a subscriber. He came down to Fiesta Island in San Diego. He's got a Honda Element that he's converted into a nice little camper. And so I installed a shore power plug for him in his rear little tailgate area so he can plug in an extension cord like at a friend's house or something. And then on the inside of his vehicle, he can plug in and charge up a power station. So happy to do that for him. He was super nice, super cool guy to meet. And I love meeting subscribers. They're always so kind and just good people. So Kenny was super nice to meet with. And then additionally, what do we got here? Just snagged a 2007 E450 14 foot with 120,000 miles. Congratulations. Thank you for the super chat. I'm excited for you. It's such a fun adventure. I'm happy to see you're doing it. I'm happy to see all the U-Hauls that are getting snatched up. By the way, I came across a U-Haul van, the same style as mine, that has, so it's like a 2007, it has 110,000 miles. The truck alone is worth probably 12 grand, and then it has a $40,000 conversion. The guy paid 40 grand to have it converted, and he's selling it on Facebook Marketplace for $15,000. It's an incredible deal. I shared it on my Facebook page. I should share it with you guys, but anyone that's looking for a box truck, oh my God, this is such a good deal. It's located in Ohio, which is the problem, you know, but it's such a cheap price. I mean, if I had the money, I would buy it. Honestly, it's kind of a basic build, but when you look at it, it was built really well. Like the work they did, all the wall paneling, the insulation, it's all really good quality workmanship, craftsmanship, but it's really basic. So it needs a few touches and upgrades, but a really good frame to work with. If I had the money, I would buy it and add some Nomad Brad touches, and I think it's easily a $30,000 box truck with some solar upgrades and some nice countertops. But anyway, if anyone's looking, reach out, let me know, and I'll send you a link for it. I can't imagine it's gonna be for sale very long. It's a really good deal. I mean, just to buy that truck completely bone stock is like 12 grand. So to get one for 15K that's got a conversion already is incredible. So anyway, that's what I wanted to tell you guys. And now we're just walking down the boardwalk, checking it out. There was a shark bite that happened a couple days ago, just 100, they said like 100 meters off the coast, which is like not very far at all. Some surfer got bit by a shark, so they're still out there surfing though. They don't care, they're having fun. They ain't gonna let the shark stop them. KKD, what's up, brother? From Hawaii. Marview wants the link. I'm trying to think, you know what I can probably do? I might be able to put the link in my community tab, maybe if I make a post. I could do that. If you guys are on my email list, also, I could email out the link. Maybe that's what I should do. Because it is a really good deal. And that's kind of why I wanted your guys' info, is so I can like reach out to you with this kind of stuff. Because I should just blast that out to all the community members, because it's such a score on a nice box truck. I'd love to see one of you guys get it. I think it's going to be a great home on wheels, a great start at least. Very good start. So if you guys have any questions for me today, let me know. If Diana's still here, I know Diana emailed me earlier this week, and whoa, that guy was cruising on his electric skateboard. Diana emailed me a bunch of questions, and so I can't pull them up right now because I can't do two things at once. But Diana, if you're here, type in some of the questions that you had, and I'm happy to answer them for you right now. And then additionally, you know, help out anybody else that also might have the same questions. What's up, homie? Dude's on YouTube, YouTube Live. People love it. People love to be on the live. They like to say hi to the friends on the internet. It's interesting. I gotta tell you too, as a walker, I'm getting taken over. Everybody on wheels and jogging. I'm the slow old man here. Typical male, LOL. Yeah, Super Dave, I'm with you. Hey, Super Dave, what is up with you? I thought when we talked a while ago, you had a box truck or you're buying a bunch of electrical, and then now you say, like maybe you have a Scion, or what was it? Like some kind of a SUV. So what are you doing? Are you going to be camping in your SUV? What's the situation? Tell me, Super Dave. Freedom 2020, right now I'm using my iPhone. Whenever I do live streams, I use my iPhone because it's just easy. It has internet connected to it, and I don't have to use some kind of like hotspot or anything. So super simple, but I got a new camera for my regular videos. So the video that comes out this Sunday, this is gonna be a review of the EcoFlow Delta 2 power, or Wave 2 power, no, hold on. EcoFlow, Delta 2 power station, and Wave 2 air conditioner with another subscriber that I met up with, Francisco. We tested it out in his Jeep Gladiator at Fiesta Island last Saturday. Reading the question from John C. Yes, I will answer that question for you, John C. And so today, this Sunday's video is going to be really a lot better quality. This new camera has a much better sensor, and so you guys are in for a treat. From here on out, Nomad Brad videos are going to be much higher quality, and altogether it just looks really, really better. Okay, Super Dave says the XB is going to be towed. Box truck is in the shop, but it's going to be a 2-year fix. That's crazy. That sounds like my box truck. I've been having the problem with mine for almost a year now. So I hear you, Super Dave. What's up, chilling in DC? Happy to see you. Happy to have you on the chat. Lansing, Michigan. Hello, Michigan. How is the UP? Are you near the UP? UP looks beautiful. I would love to make it over there sometime. Never been before, but it looks absolutely almost like a tropical island, so I'd love to be there. 2020, the new camera is okay, the new camera is the DJI Pocket 3. So it's a 4K camera, but it has a built-in gimbal. So the footage is super stabilized, but the best thing about it is it has a 1-inch sensor. So it just takes in a lot of light and it makes your images super crisp, and they have a lot of detail. So even though it shoots at the same frame rate and speed as my iPhone and as my GoPro, the image quality is a lot better because the sensor is much larger. Yeah, chilling in DC, that's why I pulled over. We're just both walking at the same pace, so I got tired of seeing him in the rear view, so we just pulled over. Michael Thomas says box truck in Ohio is sold. There we go, it's already sold. I'm not surprised, it was a smoking deal. Okay, so let me get back to John's question. Stealth factor between my vehicles. My first vehicle was an Econoline, let's see, Ford E250 Econoline. It was like a airport shuttle van. So it was like a regular, it looked like a passenger van, but it had a slight high top on it. And so for stealth, that one was pretty good. I parked it in a lot of places. I could park it in residential because it was like a regular passenger vehicle. So I could park it in neighborhoods and stuff. Nobody hassled me. And I'm trying to think back. I don't think I ever got the knock in that vehicle, but also to be fair, I lived in that vehicle 6 years ago, which van life was not nearly where it's at now as far as the sheer volume of people. The failing economy has put a lot more people into vehicle dwelling. And so you see a lot more people living in vehicles than what there used to be. And so for that reason, I think there's just more of us and there's more of an awareness of us. So, but the Econoline was nice. It was stealthy. The problem I had is I couldn't stand up in it fully. And so for me, I need to be able to stand up and walk around. And so the next vehicle I had was the shuttle bus. The next vehicle I had was the shuttle bus, and that was not really stealthy. What I didn't like about it is all the windows. You know, there's basically glass all the way around the vehicle. And so it was really hard to have window coverings that would really black everything out. Like no matter what at night, if you have lights on, light would kind of peek out from it. And so also it's just a shuttle bus. I mean, it really, logically, there's no reason for a shuttle bus to be out in public, like at night parked anywhere, because they're really only used by like transport companies. But my argument is like with a passenger vehicle, like a high top van or something, that could just be a regular, you know, consumer passenger vehicle that someone parked on the street. And then a box truck, that's a legitimate business vehicle. So that's something that could be parked for a job, or a company owns it and they just have it parked on the street for the night. But a shuttle bus, you just don't see them out and about. So I feel like the shuttle bus is the least stealthy, plus all the windows. Plus, I never felt unsafe in it, but well, I never felt in danger when I was in it, but it didn't feel super safe just because of all the glass, all the windows. My thought was just like, if I park this thing somewhere, I mean, it's so easy to break in. There's windows everywhere. And then the huge bus door, you could easily just bust it through and get inside. So I would put the shuttle bus at the bottom of my list as far as vehicles that I enjoyed living in, least stealthy, but the good news is they're cheap and you can stand up. Most of them are at least 6 feet tall. The one I had was like 6'3". And then additionally, what's nice about shuttle buses is the windows are already installed, the doorway is already installed with the steps getting in. So if you're trying to do a basic build or you don't have a lot of construction skills, it's very easy to convert a shuttle bus because you can just use regular furniture. Like you can just use a regular desk or a bed. All that kind of stuff will fit no problem inside of a bus. So you could literally buy a shuttle bus for $5,000 and pick up some furniture off Craigslist and you could hit the road the next day. So very, very simple to get into and they're roomy. So that's the benefit of the shuttle bus. That's why I do like them. Saw a couple questions come through about solar, about how I got into solar and why I'm so knowledgeable about it. And so I don't have any official training in solar, but what I do have training in is I was a residential heating and air conditioning technician for 10 years, and I went to school for that. I got sent around the country to different trade schools to learn about electrical, diagnostics, troubleshooting. And so that skill set that I had, I was very good as a HVAC technician. And so that skill set is transferable. So all I had to do is research kind of the basics of solar and 12-volt electrical. And it's pretty easy to apply the knowledge base that I have of how electricity works and troubleshooting and all the actual skill sets like cutting and crimping wires and using connectors and all that kind of stuff. It all transfers over pretty easily. So that is how I got trained up on it, was just through my previous career. What time is it? I have no idea what time it is. I do not have a watch, but the live stream started at 6, and so I'm guessing it's about 6:30. That would be my guess. Yes, Rhymes with Orange trade schools are awesome. I would recommend for anybody who is like, hold on, camera's going crazy. I would recommend for anybody that's looking for a career or a job to go into the trades. The trades are hurting because most of the younger generation is just going into internet stuff. They're going into gaming and computer design and delivering Uber Eats. Nobody's doing trades anymore. So there's a huge gap in the industry. And as you guys know, the whole economy is based on supply and demand. So as there's less skilled labor, the amount of money the skilled labor can charge increases, right? Because there's people in need and not enough people to do the work. So if you're looking for a good way to make money and you don't want to go $100,000 into debt with a college degree, look into a trade, a skilled trade, plumbing, electrical, what else do we got? Any kind of house, even stuff like painting, house painting. You can make a lot of money painting houses, and that's something that a lot of people just don't want to do themselves. So that would be my recommendation. Additionally, that's something you can do as you travel. Josh LLC, I specialized in hybrid vehicles. Oh, nice. And AC, did it for 9 years. Yeah, so that's something you can do while you travel too, is, you can, most states in America will allow you to practice as a handyman without any type of special licensing. Even here in California, you can be a handyman without having any special licensing other than just like a standard business license. So you could travel, and then when you get to a location, you can throw an ad on Facebook Marketplace, you can throw an ad on Craigslist for whatever skill set you have, As a handyman, you can do all kinds of painting, woodworking, you can do some plumbing, and you can do some electrical work. And of course, it's up to you how far you want to push the envelope, because ultimately, no one's really coming in to checking on you to see how much work you're doing. So like for me, I love electrical. Like I would have no problem going in someone's house, replacing outlets, replacing light fixtures, that type of work, that's easy. And so that's something that I could do if I needed to make money, if the solar thing was not working out. But fortunately it is. So I've been back in San Diego now for about a month, and I'm finally starting to get more jobs coming in. Cab over camper van, painting for 30 years pays the bills. Have you been in San Diego for the 4th of July? I have not been in San Diego for the 4th of July, but you know what's interesting is SeaWorld, which I park near SeaWorld often, and they do fireworks almost every weekend, it seems like. Not a long fireworks show, but they do a little bit of fireworks show. Tracy is 63, you just figured out what you wanted to do 4 years ago. Tell me, as a 63-year-old, what did you decide you wanted to do? I'm curious. After someone who's walked the earth for a long time, what did you settle on? Don't tell me YouTuber. Don't tell me TikToker. Tell me what you decided you wanted to do with your life. I'm curious. And anyway, yeah, so SeaWorld has fireworks, but I bet for 4th of July, they are gonna have a pretty crazy fireworks show. So I'm excited to see what happens. And I don't know if there's a special spot that I should be, but I think I'll be back in Maine, San Diego for 4th of July. So if anyone has recommendations on firework locations, let me know. I am all ears, happy to hear about it. Take a little live look. Michelle Swanson, hello. Welcome to the live stream. Just doing a little shot of San Diego. Freedom 2020. I have 400 amp hours of 12-volt lithium batteries. I have 1,200 watts of solar, and I have a 3,000 watt inverter charger. And that powers my tiny home on wheels without any issues, runs my air conditioner, all my electrical appliances, and it's really no problem. And even being down here in San Diego right now with all the overcast days, we haven't had a lot of sun, only a couple hours of sun per day, bright sun. And even with all that going on, my batteries are still fully charged. Of course, I'm not running the air conditioner, which is what helps. All I'm doing electrical for is my lighting, my cooking, and then charging my devices. And so even with the overcast skies that we've had lately, I'm still able to power my home on wheels without any issues. Chilling in DC. Yes, chilling in DC. We covered that first thing in the live stream. Sorry guys, my glasses keep falling down. Since I got my haircut, it's like my head is skinnier now. I don't have all the hair. And so now my glasses are like flipping around. So yeah, it's a little crazy. Yeah, I looked at one of these townhouses for sale the other day. Guess how much these townhomes cost? There was one right up here. It was 4 bedrooms, 3 baths. I don't remember the square footage. $4 million. $4 million for a townhouse. Yeah, good guess, 8 mil. Yeah, and this was probably like a cheap one, right? Like 4 mil, that's just kind of the basic one. I'm sure the bigger, fancier ones are probably coming in closer to that 10 mil price range. Yeah, chilling in DC. About the U-Haul fix, Josh LLC put me in touch with an actual U-Haul mechanic. And so I'm gonna be driving up next Friday to visit with him, and hopefully he can fix it. He sounds on the phone, he sounds pretty confident. So if he can make it happen, I'm gonna be stoked. I'll have the rig fixed, and the reward goes to Josh LLC for making it happen. Cruising. I really want to get one of these electric skateboards. I wanted one when I first came to San Diego this year, a couple of months ago, and then I went back to Arizona and forgot about it. But now that I'm back in San Diego and I found this awesome boardwalk and all the cool spots along the way, I would love to get one. So I think I'm gonna try to find one on Marketplace again and use that for cruising around town, expand my range. Yeah, electric bicycles are a good idea. The problem is I don't have anywhere to put one because on the back of my van, you know, I have my entry door kind of right in the middle, so I can't put like a rear mounted bike carrier, and I don't really want to put one on the front because then it's gonna like block my headlights, and so I don't really want a bicycle on the front of my van. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know where I would put an e-bike. That's the only challenge. But I have a couple companies that reached out that want to send me e-bikes. I just don't know what to do with them. That's a big commitment to be hauling around e-bikes. Totally deductible. You're absolutely right. The great thing, guys, if you're thinking about doing like a YouTube channel, the great thing is you get a lot of tax write-offs. So anything that I buy that goes towards making videos is a tax deduction. So for example, on last year's taxes, I wrote off like everything that I bought to build out my box truck because everything I built, I put in video form on my YouTube channel. So the argument is I bought this stuff for my YouTube channel to make the videos. My YouTube channel is my business, so those are all tax write-offs. Additionally, this new camera that I bought was like 700 bucks, and so that's gonna be a tax write-off. Oh, Bumley Mumblepeg, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. I'm happy to hear you guys are enjoying the content and you're finding some value in it, and it makes me happy to know that you're happy. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. We're putting that $20 in the Josh LLC fund. Get this guy paid. And yeah, so that's another thing. Lots of tax write-offs when you're doing YouTube. You know, if I decide to stay in a hotel or do Airbnb or something, kind of whatever you can, whatever you use, as long as you film it and make a video out of it, it's a write-off. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool little loophole, because you know we want to keep as much money as we can in our pockets. We don't want to be giving it all away to Uncle Sam so they can just send it overseas and pay for all kinds of craziness. We want to keep it local, keep it in the family, and so that's where we're at. Yeah, Mumblepeg. When I first heard it, it sounds like it almost sounds like a Harry Potter character or something. So, but I like it. Oh, what's up? You in YouTube? Hey. See that? Girls love the YouTube. Everyone wants to be on video. Hello, Robert. Happy to see you. Happy to see you in the live. And so, additionally, when I go to LA next weekend, there's also a subscriber that hit me up that wants a alternator charger installed. So I might be doing a install while I'm up in LA, which is awesome. That's another great thing about the lifestyle is as you travel and you grow and you expand your network and you meet more people, then more people you know, reach out and want help and want your services. And so this guy's up in LA. I'm gonna try to help him out while I'm up there. We're gonna put in a Victron inverter DC to DC charger on his Econoline E350 high top. So that'll be a fun job. And there's a couple other crazy things going on that I might be a part of. There's this other guy who's a pretty big YouTuber. He has like 100,000 subscribers. His name is Zach Zoller, I think. And he just bought, check this out, guys. He just bought a 26-foot box truck. This is the big boy. This is like the big Penske moving truck. He just bought one, 26 feet. and he's doing a huge build out. He's actually gonna have 2 separate bedrooms in it, and he's gonna travel with one of his friends who's also a YouTuber. And so they're basically gonna build this entire thing out into a tiny home on wheels, and they're gonna try to do it on the beach here in Fiesta Island. And so Wanderbox is gonna be helping them out. They're like conversion rig builders. And I might be helping out with the electrical or maybe some other parts of it. So it might be kind of a cool, just a big collaborative effort to get this guy's rig built out, because we're trying to do it fast. He's trying to do it fast so he can start traveling. And a 26-foot box truck with 2 bedrooms is gonna be a lot of work. So it's not something that, you know, Wanderbox can just do by themselves quickly, you know, in a few weeks. It's gonna be all hands on deck. So I might be part of that project, which I'd be excited about. And then if it does go down, then I'll of course film some of that. But I think it's gonna be a really fun rig. They already put some plans together, and the designs they came up with look pretty cool. So I'll be excited to see how that turns out. Kenny on board, 108 in Mesquite, Nevada. That is too hot, sir. That is too hot for me. Too hot. I'm so grateful to be in San Diego, even though it's not sunny right now. Just the cooler weather is so nice. At night, I'm sleeping with the windows open. I'm getting a nice little ocean breeze, which is a big change. You know, when I was in Arizona even just a couple months ago, I was having to run the air conditioner, and sleeping with the windows closed and the air conditioner on is definitely not as good of an experience as being able to sleep with windows open and a cool natural breeze and you hear like the ocean crashing and the waves. So it's a pretty good vibe down here. Super Dave, 108% humidity in Georgia. Is that possible, Super Dave? Can you have over 100% humidity? That sounds terrible. That sounds like an absolute sweat fest. I am not about it. Not about it at all. I don't know what the humidity is here, but it's pretty low, pretty tolerable. The nice thing about the ocean breeze, it just keeps everything moving. Got a lifeguard cruising by. Some volleyball players. Just cruising. We got some surfers out there. Lots of surfers today. I count 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Man, probably 30 surfers out on the coast. They're not afraid of the sharks. They're keeping it moving. They're keeping it moving. Yeah, June gloom. Yeah, Tracy, I didn't know about that, but I heard it's possibly May and June gloom. So, you know, that's just where we happen to be at right now. But the good news is we're cruising through June, heading towards July, and I think it's going to get a lot nicer pretty darn quick. Look at some of the houses here. "68% in Vermont." That sounds pretty decent. Pretty decent. Over 100% humidity means it should rain. Yeah, that kind of makes sense, right? When it gets to that level, the clouds gotta open up. July fry, rhymes with orange, July fry. So from what I could tell, it seems like rhymes with orange, it seems like it doesn't get that hot in San Diego. Like just looking at the annual forecast, it seems like, you know, maybe you get some days in the 90s, but it's not really that hot. I don't know though. Can you confirm or deny that for me? I'm curious. You like this one? It looks like a Tuscan villa. Isn't that badass? That's way nicer than the $4 million one I saw the other day. That's probably twice. That's probably 8 million. Yeah, rhymes with orange, says it stays pretty nice all year. That's what I thought, man. That's what I thought. I thought it was pretty reasonable here all year. And I gotta tell you guys, I'm kind of leaning towards San Diego as a little bit of a home base. I'm thinking, 400 panels, battery bank, can I run 12-volt mini split? 400-watt panels. Okay, so for the question on can you run a mini split in Salt Lake City on 400 watts of solar, probably not. So here's the simple math. This is how you guys can figure it out. This is how you figure it out. All you have to do is pick up or go to the air conditioner you want to buy. So if there's a 12-volt air conditioner you like, go to the website for it, go to the specifications, find out how many watts it uses. How many watts does it need to run? And then you have to make sure that your solar, you have more solar panel watts than however many watts the air conditioner needs. For example, my air conditioner uses between 300 and 800 watts. That's the range. It's a variable capacity. I have 1200 watts of solar. So what that means is on the hottest days when my air conditioner is running full blast, it's only using 800 watts, which means I still have 400 extra watts coming in that's charging up my battery bank. That's very important because if your air conditioner watts are equal to your solar panel watts, so if I had 800 watts of solar on the roof and an 800 watt air conditioner, that would mean all my solar energy is going to power the air conditioner. It will not charge my battery bank. And so over time, your battery bank is gonna slowly drain because all your other things, your refrigerator, your lighting, your phone, all the stuff you charge is gonna slowly drain the bank and you're not gonna have enough solar to replenish it. So my guess is your air conditioner probably uses more than 400 watts. And so 400 watts of solar on the roof is not gonna cut it. In general, you need about 800 watts of solar to run an air conditioner. I mean, air conditioners are super power hungry. Most units use between 600 and 1,000 watts. That's just what it is. It just takes a lot of energy to remove heat from the air. So that's what I would do. Depending on what vehicle you have though, it's gonna be hard to fit 800 watts on the roof if you have like a regular van, like a Sprinter or a ProMaster, or some kind of a like high top Econoline, forget about it, it ain't gonna happen. Basically, you'd have to run a generator. That's really the only way to do air conditioning without having a ton of solar, or you're gonna have to be plugged in. And generally that's why I just recommend move. Go somewhere where you don't need air conditioning. In fact, I didn't even have air conditioning until last year. This is my 4th vehicle I've converted, and this is the only one that's had air conditioning because I've never needed it. But the reason I had it is because I was doing my build out in Texas, and I was there during the summer, and it was so damn hot, you can't sleep without air conditioning. So I had to put it in. But if I wasn't stuck in Texas doing that build out, I probably wouldn't have even bothered to install it. Although now that I have it, it is kind of nice to have it. I did use it at my dad's house here in Yuma this year. Towards the end of the season, it was getting pretty warm. So now that I have it, I'm kind of spoiled and I appreciate it. So it's nice to have. But otherwise though, yeah, just relocate. You know, hopefully as a nomad, hopefully you have the ability to relocate. You know, if you have a job that keeps you stuck in Utah, but you have wheels, I would encourage you to use those wheels to get to a better location and then get a new job. The benefit of living on wheels is your expenses are low. You don't have a commitment of a monthly rent or mortgage. If you're working and you're not paying rent, that means you can save up a lot of money, and there's no reason you couldn't save up a few $1,000s and relocate and find a new job in a better environment. Look at this house. This is super modern. What I really like is the houses that have the rooftop decks up on top. That's super cool. Like that's where I would hang out all day if I had a house like that.
Because she kind of feels that way about
I would just be up
Florida.
there in the morning having my morning lattes, watching the ocean. It's beautiful. If you had a fishing pole, you would eat for free? Yeah. Yes, if I had a fishing pole, I could eat for free. I do see a lot of people fishing, not right now. I don't see anybody fishing at the moment, but I have seen a lot of people fishing in general over the last few weeks that I've been here, especially at Fiesta Island. It seems like it's a little more common for people to fish on the island. Probably less surfers, less people in the water, more of a friendly fishing place. And yeah, so I'm loving it. Yeah, like Marview said, you guys have options. You have wheels. Go where the weather is good. Go where the money is good. So the benefit too, you know, is if you go somewhere with better weather, you can also go somewhere with a better economy. So if you want to do seasonal work, you know, you could go travel. I don't know what kind of work you guys do, but you could go work at like a resort or some kind of a lodge, you know, in the summertime. You can be in nice weather. If you get into any kind of like service industry, like tourism stuff, a lot of times there's really good tips. I have a friend, John Dean, who worked as at a campground in Oregon over the summer, and he did boat rentals. So he just hung out on the dock all day and rented out boats. And he said people would tip him like 40, 50 bucks just on one boat rental. And you know, he would do, I don't know how many of those a day, but I remember talking to him and he said he was making like 4 or 5 grand a month just off his hourly with his tips, which is crazy. Just for 1 month as a nomad, you know? So you guys can travel and get seasonal jobs and try to work in the service industry where you can get tips and you can make pretty good money. Or if you have some kind of a skill where you don't want to do gig work, then just go to an area with a better economy. The wages are going to be higher. Anywhere that has a higher cost of living, in general, the wages are going to be higher, and so you can make more money. Jay-Z says, I met a server working 3 days a week at a nice restaurant making $100K a year. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, so you could totally do, I know even still, I know serving and bartending can pay really well if you're at a high-end restaurant. And what I think would be really cool about doing serving too is usually if you work at a restaurant, you have access to either discounted food or free food. So, you know, you could get some meals for free, you could make really good money, and then, you know, if you're at a high-end restaurant in a good part of town and you live in your vehicle, then you get to live in a really nice part of town and it might have a nice, you know, nice fancy gym you could get a membership to. I mean, there's a lot of really nice amenities in the wealthier parts of town. So it's just super exciting. There's a lot of opportunities. I think the thing people struggle with the most is just feeling locked in or becoming comfortable, and then a little bit afraid to get out of their comfort zone. And I'll tell you guys a story. I had a chat with a lady who watches my videos. I don't know if she watches my lives. I don't know if she's on here. If she's watching right now, this is not an insult to you, but I'll tell you the story. This lady reached out to me and said she's living in, let's see, Washington, D.C., and she works kind of in the gig, it's kind of like the gig economy, right? Like she kind of has her own business, but she basically works events. And she was saying that the money is really good there, and so she can't leave. And she wants to leave, but she can't because the money's good and she has clients. And she has a Sprinter van that she has that's converted. And I I was trying to explain to her, I said, well, I'm sure Washington, D.C. is nice. Oh, and then her main complaint was the temperature, right? So like right now it's super hot and she's trying to figure out like how to get air conditioning, but she can't get enough solar. And so she's kind of struggling that it's not comfortable to live in DC. And so I told her, I said, move, get out. You know, you have wheels, so move on down the road, go somewhere better. And she said, well, but the money is really good, the economy is really good. And I said, well, I'm sure there's a lot of money in Washington, D.C., but Washington, D.C. is relatively small. I mean, there's way more people in California. The weather is way better in California. There's pockets of Oregon and Washington. There's all kinds of different places you could go and start working in the service industry. But I could tell from talking to her that she was just really comfortable with what she's doing right now, and the jobs, it seems like, are kind of flowing. And I think it's a little bit mentally probably scary to, you know, go out on your own and you know, start a new path. And so I think that's what she's struggling with. And so that's for everybody listening, is you gotta, sometimes you have to put up with a little discomfort, and you have to decide you really want something, you have to decide you're gonna make it happen, and you have to go for it. And it can be a little scary at first. It can be a little bit, make you a little nervous, a little wobbly in your tummy at first, but that's where the rewards happen, and that's where the growth happens. You know, if you guys just keep doing the things you've always done, you will get the results that you've always had. If you don't make a change, nothing will change. And so it's up to each of us to create our own change. Whatever you want that to look like, you gotta make it happen. No one's gonna make it happen for you. So it's really important to just think about what you wanna do in life, what you want your reality to look like, your future to look like, and then work backwards and figure out the steps you need to do to make that happen. I see Josh LLC just commented and said he's loving his decision to pick up the Nomad life and he's not paying bills. And I gotta tell you guys, there's no feeling better than making good money so you have a good income, while at the same time your expenses are extremely low. That is the absolute best feeling in the world. And here's why. All of a sudden, you have a ton of disposable income, a ton of purchasing power, and you have a lot of options. Now, you know, if you're making good money, if you're making $3-4 grand a month, and as a nomad, you can easily get by on $1,000 a month for all your living expenses. So we're talking about $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 plus that you could be saving every month. And what would you do with that money? I mean, you can do a lot of stuff with that kind of money. Imagine having an extra 3 grand a month. That can really increase your quality of life. It can get you more options. You could travel. You could save for a house. You could buy one of these things, one of these $4 million houses on the ocean. You can do a lot of stuff. So I want people to think about that. Get paid well, keep your expenses down. And right now is a good time to do that because expenses are crazy. Don't be like most of America that right now is flushing away thousands of dollars a month on debt, on rent, on car leases, on credit card bills. Eat steak, Jay-Z, that's right. I eat a steak every day. And I'm not even buying expensive steak. I'm getting steaks from grocery outlet for $5 a piece, and they're delicious. So it's easy to live a rich lifestyle without spending a lot of money. It's very, very possible. And it becomes addicting once you realize how much freedom you can have, and then at the same time you're making money, and you don't have all the tie downs and the commitments of a regular 9-to-5 and a lease and a mortgage. You become pretty unstoppable. And it's pretty clear to me why the government wants people to be locked down. They don't want people to have that power. They don't want humanity to experience the freedom and the power and the independence that we actually have, because then they can't control us, right? Like if all of America was just living in vans, hanging out, and there was no debt and there was no mortgages and insurance, the government couldn't control us. We would just do whatever we wanted and they'd be out of jobs. So anyway, something to think about. I saw a question come through. I think it was Diana asked if I thought about buying land. And so my thoughts have changed a little bit. You know, if you asked me 6 months ago, I said I kind of wanted to buy land. Oh, Freedom 2020, yeah. Did I consider buying land? So if you asked me 6 months ago, I would have said my goal was to buy land like out in the, you know, out off grid somewhere and build like an off grid cabin. But, you know, in the last few months, my mindset has kind of changed. And I don't think that's the move because I don't want to live all alone out in the woods. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm a single guy. I don't have kids. I don't have a wife. I don't plan on having kids. I might get a wife at some point, but I'm not going to do a whole family thing. And so I don't want to be living all by myself out in the woods. That's not really exciting. And all the affordable land that is like off grid is way out of town. You know, you got to drive an hour just to get to Home Depot. And then if you want to go to like a regular town to do stuff, it's like another hour. So you're driving like 2 hours to get out of town. And then because of the lifestyle, I really like traveling in van life. So it's already really easy to just go be out in the country. So what I want to do, because I do think, and what's interesting is if you watch Grant Cardone, you can think whatever you want about him, but he's a real estate, you know, billionaire. And Grant Cardone will tell you, owning a home, owning a single family home with a mortgage is not an asset, it's a liability. And that's because it doesn't generate any income. It's purely a cost. It costs you. The minute you buy a house, you pay the mortgage, the insurance, the repairs, you're constantly spending money. It's a liability, it's not an asset. Of course, it appreciates in value, but the only time you will realize that value is when you sell the house. So if I want to buy land and die on that land, I'll never see any of the value of the increase. But what I will do is pay more taxes as the property value increases. So here's the move. Here's what I'm going to do. And here's what I would recommend to any other nomads that kind of want to have like a safe fallback plan or want to have some land, but they want to have an asset, not a liability. They want a piece of land that's going to make money for them and it's not going to be difficult. So what I'm going to do, what I'm considering, there's a high probability that I will buy a piece of land, not a big piece, maybe like an acre or a couple acres, and I will be 30 minutes from a major city, maybe 40 minutes from a major city. And I will make sure I get a piece of land that has a main house, and then additionally it has a barn or a shop. And what I will do is I will rent out the main house, so the rental income would cover the cost of the mortgage. And then the shop or the barn or whatever secondary structure, that will be my space. It will be only mine. The renters will not have access to it. And so that's a home base for me to go hang out, work on projects, remodel the box truck. You know, if I just want to pull off the road for a while, I can do that. If unfortunately, you know, I get sick or injured, then I could stay there, not have to worry about it. But the benefit is you have tenants who are living there who are paying down the bills, paying down the mortgage. You're not paying for it. And also they're looking over the property while you're gone. Because here's a big problem. If I go and get 20 acres out in the middle of nowhere, and then I want to travel still, I don't want to have to, you know, spend every day on the property. Then when I go travel, who's going to watch the property? You know, and then I'm a YouTube person, so everybody that follows me is going to know I'm on the road, I'm not at home, and that's going to make my home base a huge target for thieves, people that want to take advantage, squatters. Can't have that. So that's the move. I will buy a piece of land, I will rent it out, and I will have a little section for myself. And maybe I'll even do a little workshop there. Maybe I will do some solar in that location. Maybe I'll do some builds. Maybe I'll have some of you guys come down. If you guys want some work done on your rigs, you know, that's something I could do, offer a little help. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about. Not sure about the location, probably somewhere on the West Coast though. Maybe Northern California, maybe Oregon. I kind of like those two states. Somewhere that's nice in the summer. I do like spending winters in Arizona. And also winter is a good time to travel overseas. I want to do some international traveling. So I think if I find a good location as a home base for the summer, then I would do traveling in the winter. So that's the plan. And I would encourage you guys to consider doing something similar. So how's everybody doing? We're coming in on 70 minutes. I'm gonna cut over across the boardwalk. I'm gonna walk back along the bay, get a little different view. We already came down past the craziness, past the amusement park. Freedom 2020 wants to know what's my #1 travel location. That's a big question. For me, I want to go to South Latin America. I want to go to like maybe Nicaragua, maybe Argentina, maybe something down there. I think that looks like fun. I'm pretty comfortable with Spanish and I enjoy the food and I want some tropical beachside destination. I want to lounge under a palm tree while I eat mangoes. That's the kind of destination old Nomad Brad is looking for. So I'm thinking South America. It's very cheap. You know, you can get a flight for a few $100 and then, you know, meals and lodging are very, very cheap. I would not drive. The vehicle has too many miles on it, but I would hop a flight. I would just go for probably a month or something. It wouldn't be too crazy. I'll bring you guys with me. We can do Nomad Brad Goes International. We'll live out of a backpack. You know, Nomad Brad, he doesn't need much to be happy. So I'll just fill up a travel backpack with whatever fits and that's it. We'll hit the road and just see what happens. You know, what's interesting is before Nomad Brad became Nomad Brad, I went with a girlfriend on, all right, John C., thanks for dropping by. I will see you next week, brother. Enjoy that chorizo, buddy. I went on a trip to Tulum, Mexico with a girlfriend, and what we did is we just each filled a backpack. We were gone for 2 weeks. We each just filled a backpack with clothes, and I only booked the first 2 nights in a hostel, and that's it. And I said, you know what? We're just gonna book 2 nights at a hostel, and then once we get there, we're just gonna walk around and explore the area and figure out what's a good spot we wanna stay. And then we'll just book our own spots based on that. And it was actually super fun, and it was nice to have kind of that random spontaneousness where, you know, you could just stay wherever you want, find a spot that looked cool and explore it, and there was no restrictions. You didn't have reservations you had to worry about. It was just very, very simple. So that's what I would do. So that's what I would do if I go down to South America. I would just keep it super chill, super laid back, and just travel with a backpack. And I'm actually doing a podcast with my friend Ryan on Friday. He's a digital nomad. Ryan does real estate investing. I've known him, I actually met him on the road in my very first van. He was traveling in an RV. He's a real estate investor, and you know, he just started from the ground up. I mean, he started out just buying like really cheap, old, worn down condos and then renting them out. He's worked himself up over the last 7 years, and now he's got quite a good portfolio of rental homes, and he travels internationally. This guy is a big time traveler, and I mean, just a backpack. And he's all over South America, Asia, I mean, Thailand, Vietnam. It's incredible the places he goes. He's in Peru right now. He's in Cusco, Peru. Ryan, so he's just starting his social media. the sad thing is he's been doing this for like 7 years, and he hasn't been documenting it. I mean, he'll occasionally like put a photo on Facebook, but he really hasn't been doing much. But now what he's doing is he's starting a coaching program to help other people that want to be digital nomads. And so that's why he's starting the podcast, and he's starting a YouTube channel and an Instagram. So he will, I assume he will be making content. I'll be on his podcast and I'll talk to him and get the details. But I'm super excited to see what he has to say, because I know the number one question that people want to know is how to get into being a nomad. So I'll be curious to talk to Ryan and see if he has tips or ways to help other folks, because obviously it takes some money to get into real estate investing, and not everyone can afford to just start buying and flipping houses, right? So it'll be cool to see if Ryan has any advice, any tips or tricks for, you know, some of us regular people that have ambition and are hustlers, but we don't have a big bank account, because it would be nice to know how we can hit the goal of becoming nomads. So I will share that with you guys, because I know a lot of you guys are interested in doing nomad stuff. And I think one of the questions I get the most often is just, how do you support yourself? How do you make money? Marview has owned 5 houses. Good for you, man. That's a lot. As somebody that only owned 1, 5 is a lot. Some people have owned 0, so you're doing pretty good, man. I can only imagine the amount of time and effort it took to own and maintain 5 houses. Even if you're not doing the work yourself, you're still having to coordinate with contractors and, you know, agencies and service providers. And I think it's probably a lot of work, unless you have everything 100%. Holy cow. I just got a $100 super chat. That is crazy. That is my biggest super chat ever. Right in here at the end of the live stream, I got a super fan with a super chat. This is Da Rumble. This guy says, he says, thanks, man. Family obligations in Salt Lake City, so I'm stuck. Got this base '07 Savannah 2500 cargo, testing out van life and stacking up my money. Love the content. Glad I caught you live. Da Rumble. Okay, so this is the guy in SLC asking about air conditioning. Yeah, thank you for the super chat, man. I really appreciate that. It's gonna top off the old gas tank. Well, that's going to the Josh LLC fund. Look at that. We're getting Josh all paid off today. Yeah, so that's tough, buddy. A GMC Savannah doesn't have a lot of roof space. So I hear that if you're stuck in SLC and you can't leave, I feel you. I don't really know what to say. You're gonna have to either find a way to plug it in to shore power somewhere, find an extension cord, find something to plug in. Maybe you can look online and try to rent someone's driveway. I know there's some websites that people will rent out like their driveway for folks to stay in. So you could try that, you know, pay someone a couple $100 a month to just park in their driveway and plug into an extension cord. If you could do that, then you could have power to run an air conditioner. You could stay, let's see, with a van, you can't really stay at an RV park, but you could stay at a camp, a campground, a state campground, a city campground. Usually campgrounds will allow vans. Some of them will have shore power. Noah says maybe foldable panels. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to get up there to like 700-800 watts. So that's a lot of panels. So I guess, you know, if you think you're gonna keep that Savannah, if you think that's the rig for you, then I think what I would do is I would have some kind of a welder make me a roof rack, and I would try to basically make as big of a roof rack as possible and fill it with panels. If you do the big residential panels, like 350 watt panels, you know, maybe you could get 3 of them on the roof, but you would need a roof rack. So I guess that's what I would say is, if you really want to make it work and you're down, I would try to have a fabricator make you a big roof rack, as big as what's physically possible to put on the rig, and then I would try to max it out with solar panels. And if you don't have like a max fan, then I think you could do it. If you just filled the whole roof with panels, try to hit like 800 watts, then I think you could be okay. Noah says the 24-volt Cruise and Comfort AC. Donald Frazier says fairgrounds, often rent out spots. Yeah, Hip Camp. So Hip Camp app has places you can rent out lots. So I would look around, buddy, for places you could get power and just see what you can come up with. Yeah, so even the Cruise and Comfort air conditioner, the problem is it's just the compressors take a lot of energy. So I don't know off the top of my head what the specs are on the Cruise and Comfort. It might be more efficient. If you have a 24-volt electrical system, there's no efficiency loss by using an inverter, but the compressor is probably still, you know, gonna be 500 or 600 watts. So you have to have enough solar to offset that. And then the problem with portable foldable panels is, you know, they're usually tilted at an angle, so you have to move those panels like all day, right? Like as the sun travels across the sky, you have to constantly reposition the panels. So it's a little bit of effort, and especially when you need that much power, like when you consistently need 500 watts per hour, you know, you're gonna have to basically be spending all day just tending to your solar panels, which isn't really ideal. So, but if you could get 400 watts on the roof, you could try a couple hundred watts of flexible panels, and then that might work for you. Yeah, Cruise and Comfort, I'm familiar with them. I know they mount under the van. That would, geez, the Rumble, that's crazy. That's crazy. The Rumble just dropped $199 plus an initial $99. That's $299 from DeRumble. That's a third of Josh LLC's emergency fund. Woo! Crazy. That is so crazy. DeRumble, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Maybe we're going out for surf and turf tonight. Maybe we're gonna do double lobsters. So if DeRumble's super chatting like that, then hopefully he's got a little bit of money set aside and he can you know, do some improvements to make that vehicle work for him. Wow, I feel blessed. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We're gonna pass that right along to some more nomads in the community. And yeah, so somebody just asked about the Wave 2 air conditioner. Hey, Josh LLC, peace out, brother. I will be in touch. Let you know how it goes next weekend, buddy. Thank you for your help. Somebody asked about the Wave 2 air conditioner. So I tested it from EcoFlow. Yes, it does run off battery, but the problem is you have to recharge the battery. So when I use the Wave 2 LLC, or Wave 2 LLC, when I use the Wave 2 air conditioner, it comes with an expansion battery pack. And so the battery pack only lasts for about 3 hours. And you can get bigger battery packs, but then you have to still recharge them. So it still doesn't really solve the problem of how you're gonna power this stuff. And keep in mind, DeRumble is in Salt Lake City, Utah. It's 100 degrees all day. And I'm sure it cools down a little bit at night, but it probably doesn't cool down a ton. So I would assume he probably needs cooling almost 24/7. And that EcoFlow air conditioner only runs for 3 hours on the battery pack, and then you'd have to get more battery packs, and then how are you gonna recharge the battery packs? You'd have to, I mean, it's not practical. I mean, the battery packs are huge. It's not practical to be like carrying these battery packs from the van into like a business or a house and like charging them. It's gonna be this whole crazy catastrophe. So yeah, unfortunately, I don't think there's a really good solution for that. It's just gonna be something he's gotta figure out. But there are options. You can try to find a place that has plugins, campground, hip camp, or you can get a generator. I really don't like generators, they're so loud. but they work. That's why people use them. I know, Marview, I'm heading back. I'm almost back to the van. It's been 84 minutes. This is where we're at right now. The van is parked right over here in the corner. So yeah, it's been almost 84 minutes. We had a good chat tonight. A lot of knowledge has been dropped. We got some huge super chats, record-breaking super chats for the Nomad Brad channel. I appreciate that. And just having fun in San Diego. And appreciate everybody that's tuned in. Appreciate all the questions and the feedback. And I saw at one point we had up over 80 people in the chat today, which is a new record. My previous high for the chats was around 70. So we blew past the records, back to up over 80. And Jay-Z says, catch you in San Diego. Be happy to see you. Any of you guys that are in the area, if you want to meet up, you want to say hi, you want to hop in a video, I'm always happy to meet up with you guys. Just say hello, we'll make it happen. And I'm gonna go ahead, I think, and sign off right here. Nomad Brad sees an ice cream stand, and so we're gonna celebrate with the huge super chats tonight and we're gonna celebrate with some ice cream. And so I will see you guys hopefully next Wednesday. There's a new video dropping Sunday with the new camera, with the big sensor. It's a beautiful video. It's a review of the EcoFlow equipment. So check it out on Sunday. My email is nomadbrad503@gmail.com. Anyone that wants to contact me, if you want that refrigerator that I'm gonna be testing and giving away, send me an email. Happy to pass that refrigerator on to somebody. And thank you. That's it for me. I'm out. You guys have a good night. Peace.